I love that these traitorous fascists are getting 20 to 30 years in prison. They're basically going to spend the rest of their life in prison.
5 members of the far-right group, the Proud Boys, will be sentenced this week for their roles in the Capitol riot. The group's leader, Enrique Tarrio, and 3 others were convicted of seditious conspiracy back in May. The 5th member was found guilty on other charges. The Justice Department is asking for prison sentences ranging from 20 to 33 years. NBC News Justice reporter Ryan Riley's outside the courthouse for us in Washington. Ryan, sentencing this week. So can you remind our viewers what seditious conspiracy is as a charge, and how has it been used in other cases involving January 6th?
That's right. So seditious conspiracy actually came about just after the Civil War, and it essentially is conspiring to overthrow the U.S. government. It's only been used a handful of times in U.S. history. Rachel Maddow had a great podcast earlier this year about one of the seditious conspiracy trials in the 1940s. But in modern history, it's really been pretty rarely used. In fact, it failed early on in the Obama administration when there was a case involving a militia that the judge sort of tossed out. So it is pretty rarely brought forward. But in this case, the government said that that's what these individuals were trying to do.
Yeah, they were trying to overturn the election and make Donald Trump president so he could become king. They wanted a fascist dictatorship. And many right-wingers nowadays will spout how they want a dictatorship or some kind of monarchy.
Was already the case that they brought against the Oath Keepers as well. And of course, the record-setting sentence that we've seen in January 6th cases altogether came out of a seditious conspiracy case that went to Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes. But what the government is seeking here for Enrique Tarrio is a lot more, 33 years they're seeking in this case. So we could see yet another record-setting sentence tomorrow morning here, Kate.
And I know there's a pre-sentencing hearing happening today, Ryan. What's happened so far in court?
Yeah, so we've heard testimony from 3 Capitol police officials, one former, one inspector, one officer who was talking about how she lost a friend on January 6th, referring to an individual who died, according to a medical autopsy, of natural causes after January 6th, but that came as a result of what happened that day. So some really compelling testimony. She was talking about how essentially she's had a really tough time talking about what she went through, talking about the repercussions that this has had on her life. And obviously, a lot of these individuals who work for the Capitol Police sort of are living at the crime scene or working at the crime scene every day. That's where they have to go to work. So really does have repercussions for them, even now 2.5 years down the road.
All right, Ryan Riley for